Hi, I'm professional sports handicapper Ross Benjamin. It's Wednesday, February 12th. Time for another edition of my basketball free picks segment. Today we have three college basketball free picks. And before we get to those, 2-1 yesterday. Barely missed the 3-0 as Colorado State lost by 3 to Utah State as a 2-point underdog. But we'll take 2-1 every day, any day. Over the last four videos, I'm at a 7-4-1. Not bad. We need to keep the momentum going, and let's keep it going today. Just a friendly reminder, folks, for those of you who have not subscribed and want to be notified immediately upon me publishing any of these videos, just hit that subscribe button on the lower right-hand side of this video, and your support and viewership is deeply appreciated. Let's get right to the game, starting with a Southeast Conference battle. South Carolina at Georgia. Make note of the start time, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Georgia right now is a 2.5-point home favorite. Not a very good resume for Georgia in terms of having value as even a small home favorite, as they've lost 6 of their last 7 and 8 of their last 10 games. They're terrible defensively, especially in conference action. They're allowing 77.9 points per game, and opponents are shooting, that's SEC opponents, are shooting 48.7% against them. That's terrible defense. South Carolina, on the other hand, 4-1 straight up in ATS in their last 5, and on the other side of the coin, different from Georgia, this is a South Carolina team during that last 5-game stretch in which they've been very successful. Their defense has led the way as they're allowing opponents to shoot just 36.3% during that time, and opponents have only converted on 25.4% of their three-point attempts. South Carolina's been pretty good on the road this year, 5-3 straight up in true road games, and that includes 6-2 against the spread, and they've also defeated Georgia 6 straight times. I'm going to take South Carolina here, plus 2.5 on the road at Georgia. Next game, a huge Big 12 conference matchup between number 3 Kansas and number 4 West Virginia. There will be a 7 p.m. Eastern Time tip-off from Morgantown, West Virginia. And right now, the Mountaineers are a 1.5-point home favorite. West Virginia hasn't been good on the road of late, but boy, they've been awfully good at home all season long, going 12-0 on their home floor and winning by an average of 19.5 points per game. That includes, over their last 8 home games, they've covered 7 of those 8 contests and won by a massive average of 23.4 points per game. They did face Kansas earlier in the year on January 4th. In Lawrence, Kansas, and they lost 60-53, so they'll be playing with revenge. What's interesting to note there is they were a 10-point road underdog in that game, and now they're a 1.5-point favorite in the second meeting. That shows you where the odds makers and how they feel about this game and how they made a shift. That's a huge shift in the line movement. Usually you're looking at about a 6-point difference between, 7-point difference, I should say, between road and home. So basically on January 4th, West Virginia, if they played that game at home, would have been a 3-point underdog, but now they're a 1.5-point favorite. That speaks volumes to me. And Kansas is 5-0 straight up in ATS and conference road games this year, so they've been very good in this role. However, all 5 of those wins came over unranked opponents, and the only team they played in a true road game that was ranked that's currently ranked right now is Villanova, and they lost that game 56-55. I like the West Virginia Mountaineers at home in this spot, laid at 1.5 over the higher ranked Kansas Jayhawks. UConn at SMU, an American Athletic Conference game, 7 p.m. Eastern Time start. SMU is a 4.5-point home favorite as we speak. The Mustangs are 12-1 on their home floor this year, and that includes 5-0 straight up and 4-1 against the spread in conference home games. Their only non-cover was as a 7.5-point favorite against Central Florida, and they won that game by 7, barely missing. So they've been awfully strong on their home floor, not only this year, but over the last 5 or 6 years, SMU has been traditionally strong on their home floor. Over their last 5 games, SMU is averaging making 12 3-point shots per game, and they're shooting 38.8% from 3-point range during that stretch. SMU in conference play on their home floor. Again, in those 5 conference home games in which they're 5-0, they're averaging 79 points per game and shooting close to 51% from the floor. On the other hand, UConn over the last 6 games has shot 39.7% or less on 5 of those occasions. This is also a UConn team that's 1-5 straight up in conference away games this year. I like SMU on their home floor, -4.5 over UConn. Repeating again, my college basketball free picks for Wednesday, February 12th. South Carolina +2.5 at Georgia. West Virginia -1.5 at home over Kansas, and SMU as a 4.5-point home favorite over UConn. Be sure to visit my website, rbwins.com, coming off a 3-1 day with my paid selections, including a 10-star top play in the NBA and the Philadelphia 76ers as an underdog last night, winning over the LA Clippers. I'm not sure how you make a team that's 25-2 right now at home, an underdog, but I was more than glad to take the points, even though it was only a 2-point spread in that contest. Also went 2-1 in college basketball. Again, rbwins.com. It's there you'll find the best of what I have to offer on a daily basis. Offer some good subscription packages that are at cut rates. Also, daily packages for those of you who just want to dabble into this once in a while. That's rbwins.com, where you pay a little to make a lot. Until the next time, good luck with all your picks.